Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Truth Seeking Network. Today, I'm going to do a little sort of different video. It's going to be about investing, and it's going to be short, but basically about why people are, you know, people out here waste their money. Um, Most people don't invest. Most people basically keep up with the Joneses and everything else, and try to impress everybody when they get paid. They take their money and they pretty much put their money on stuff that they shouldn't, stuff they really don't need. They buy things um, they really don't, they buy things just to impress other people, so to speak. And I seen it growing up as a kid. I seen it growing up. I seen, my kids and everything else and people I worked with that throughout the jobs I've been working at over the years, seen the same thing. Everybody was always trying to impress somebody, right? With the things that they bought when they got paid. But the fact is, I've seen a lot of these people still, they're broke now. They have all this stuff, but they have no money. And one of the biggest things that they don't teach us in school is about money. I mean, you learn your history, you learn everything else, but you don't learn money. And money is the biggest thing that we need to know about is money. You know how to balance your checkbook, right? If you got to pay rent, your mortgage, whatever thing like that, credit cards and anything like that, you want to basically be frugal with your money. But you don't want to be putting everything on credit. Now, a credit card makes you feel like that you have a lot of money, right? And that's what it's for. Basically, you don't have the cash, so you put it on credit. And so therefore you use your credit card. But there's so many of us that are in deep in debt today. And it's based on the fact that we don't know what to do with our money. And so I'm just going to do a quick video that anybody can invest. And I've talked to many people over the years, about investing. And the thing about it is most of them just won't do it. Why? I don't know. It's just very simple. But they think it's just for people on Wall Street or just the big wigs invest, whatever. I don't know. But they'd rather take their money and go to the club, hang out, buy some fresh clothes to look good in front of everybody else, spend it on fancy cars. I know people who, speaking of cars, I know people who they got a car, they just paid it off, right? And they may have gotten themselves a raise. And the first thing they do is go out there, take the car, and they turn it in, and they get another car that costs more money, and now they got a car payment. And they talking about they deserve it. Think about that. You just had a car that was paid for. Because you got a raise, you said, I deserve it. So you went out there and you took that raise along with your old car, you turned it in, and now you got a higher payment on another car. Now you got a payment every month, $600-700 monthly payment. Whereas before, you didn't have none. It's like we're actually making ourselves get back and go back into debt. We like being in bondage. Debt is bondage. That's exactly what it is. And it's like we got a chance to free ourselves out of bondage and we go right back in it. And I don't know what's wrong with us. It's a mindset. So this is a quick video just to show y'all that, you know, out there trying to impress everybody all your life is that eventually things, as you see, bills, right? Food, gas, water, electric, every car prices, home prices, everything is being inflated. It's going up. And so the only way to win, or one way to win for sure, is you must stop being a consumer-minded person and start to invest as well. You must start taking small amounts of money and put it aside for investments. And I'm not just talking about in a 401k plan, okay? Or your TSP or whatever kind of plan you have. I'm talking about you can do this yourself. And see, that's what most people think. They can't do it on their own. People look for a job. Well, I got to get a job with a 401k. No, you don't. You can do this yourself. All you have to do is learn. There are companies out there, Weibo, Charles Schwab. There's so many, T. Rowe Price, Vanguard. There's so many companies out there that you can start to learn how to invest yourself. So then you can choose the investments that you want. Not just some plan. Most people in 401ks don't even know what they invested in. They just know they got a company plan. That's it. They don't know about the fees or anything else, expense ratios and nothing. But you have an opportunity to invest. And it's basically almost the same as you do when you go to the store. Except you don't understand that all stores, majority of stores, and everything you do is on a stock exchange. Your gas station is on a stock exchange. 7-Eleven on the stock exchange. Yeah, when you go to Walmart, that's on the stock exchange, and the stuff that's in Walmart. When you go eat out to McDonald's, it's on the stock exchange. You like Krispy Kreme donuts, it's on the stock exchange. But you only know how to eat out. Like you go to Red Lobster to eat out. And so that's all you're thinking about. Yeah, we're going to Red Lobster. We're going to eat out the Red Lobster tonight, y'all. We're going to eat some crab legs and blah, 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 blah. And see, only thing you know is how to consume. And that's why you're broke. 10 years down the line, you still don't have anything. You're in the same position, if not worse. Isn't it funny how the longer you work, the more debt you're into? You ever think about that? The longer you work, the more in debt you are in. If you really think about that, when you work, you should be getting richer. Your wealth should be increasing. And instead, though, the longer we work, the more in debt we get into. Why is that? Because we have not learned the laws of money. You have not learned to take care of your future self. So you must take care of your future self. And it's the small amounts today that you can invest that would compound into huge amounts in the future for you. And so you will have a future. Do you want to be working at 60, 70 years old? You don't have to. You don't have to buy into that. The same companies you spending your money on. Apple is a stock. Microsoft, Google, right? It's right here. A lot of the successful businesses are right in front of you. Except you consume from them, you don't invest in them. Now, to me, I like individual stocks. Dave Ramsey don't like it, but I don't care what he likes. Okay? I like choosing my own companies and investing in them. And some of the stuff is just easy things that you use. You know, there's so many people out here that became millionaires based off of what I just said. They ignored the noise, they ignored the fuss, they ignored all the hassle and the hustle. And they were steadily, consistently investing over periods of time. And their accounts have compounded where they became multimillionaires. Some people didn't make more than 20, 30,000 a year. But it's not how much you make, it's what you do with what you make. And that's the key. They didn't just spend their money on frivolous stuff. These people were investing small amounts, one share at a time. And you can do, now they have ETFs, exchange traded funds. They have mutual funds that you can put your money into as well. If you just did that, and all of us that's watching this video can do that today. If you have a job and you're making money, you can invest. But most of us don't want to because you get too scared about the risk. You get too scared about, oh, the market's going down. The market's going down. But guess what, y'all? The stock market goes up and the stock market goes down. And that's just part of the market. That's the life of the stock market. But most of the time, the trajectory is up. You think Warren Buffett, right? All these millionaires out here, the rich put their money in investments, y'all. That's the difference. You put your money in things that go down in value, and they put their money in things that go up in value. They buy art, rare art, right? They buy oil, gas, silver, gold, real estate, crypto. A lot of things that you won't even think about buying. Instead, you put your money in the car. That's your investment. Or you put your money in, oh, I'm investing in an apartment building. I mean, excuse me, an apartment house, rent for your apartment. That's your investment. That's not an investment, people. Buying new clothes is not an investment. Buying Louis Vuitton, a $7,000 Louis Vuitton purse, you save all your money up just to get a stupid purse. Or you got to be the only one to have the $1,000 Nikes on. That's foolishness. Because once you buy that stuff, there's nobody gonna pay you what you pay for it. It's gonna go down in value, and that's why a lot of fancy clothes and stuff, they end up in the thrift stores, and you get pennies on a dollar. You get Nike, you get all kind of good shirts and stuff in there, pants and everything. Go to the thrift store, and when you walking around in it, people thought you paid big money for it, and you actually bought it for $5 at the thrift store. But you pay $95 or $100 for your shirt. I paid $5 because I got it at the thrift store, the same one you got. So we got to know what's real. You want to build wealth for you and your family. But you got to start somewhere. And in this day and age, we have to start. There's so many people right now who are in their 60s and 70s and 80s. They can't retire. They don't have enough money. But guess what? They lived a full life. They lived the same amount of years. All of us, time is the most precious thing that we have is time. And that's the thing that we don't know how much we have of it. But at the same time, I look at people in their 60s and 70s. They were once 10 years old, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You see what I'm saying? So what did they spend their time doing? And if you don't invest nothing, you won't have nothing. And that's the God honest truth. If you don't put nothing away, you won't have nothing for your future. So that's why I'm making this video. And I'm gonna start making more financial videos to show that everybody can do this. But you don't need a 401k. You can do it yourself. Instead of being a consumer-minded person all the time, why don't you start by actually looking at some of the things you consume and then look up the stock price and look up articles about the company, the thing that you're consuming, right? You drink Pepsi, you drink Coke, they're on the stock exchange. Is Doritos your favorite chip? Pepsi owns it. See what I'm saying? So whatever it is, we always on the consumer side of things. So why not just not be a consumer only? Let's stop being owners. Okay? Start being owners. Because keeping up the Joneses, that's a lifelong, that's a waste of time. Because you'll always be worried about what somebody else got. And you're always chasing something that means nothing. Oh man, did you hear? Yeah, Whichcomb, man, he got a new car. Yeah, that thing is nice. I got it. Yeah, he got a new car. And then you go out there, you got to outdo him. You know you can't afford it, but you got to impress everybody. So now you got to go get a even better car than he got. And that's the game we play. But we losing. The rich are getting richer. And the poor are getting poorer. Because it's not how much you make. It's what you do with what you make. And a lot of people think, well, if you make $150,000, 200,000, that you're rich. So people think because of their paycheck, how much they make per check, they think they're rich, and they're not. There's people who making 200,000, 150, 180,000 a year, and guess what? They're broke. You know why? Because they have a broke mindset. Yeah, they make 150,000, but guess what? They're spending 200,000. See, they got a credit card, and because they're making so much money, every time they get paid, they going out having a good time, partying, trying to showboat. And really, all they had to do was take some of that money and put it away. You got millionaire basketball players and football players. Think about this. Some of them guys had $100 million contracts, $75 million contracts, and now they're broke. After all these years, they're broke. Now, all they had to do is take at least one of those millions of dollars when they got the contract and put it into investments. They could have put it into the S&P 500 stock markets, right? They could have spread it amongst mutual funds, and they would have went on about their way for the next 20 years. That $1 million would have been compounding and growing while they was out there wasting and losing all their money. And then they turn around and they broke. They don't have any money at all. See, that's no excuse. There's no excuse for that. The examples are already before us. Everybody, there's so many people out there who've done this. You can Google it for yourself. There's so many people who made themselves millionaires with small dollar cost averaging, which is putting small amounts of money into the stock market over a period of time. And some people did it in real estate. There are people who did it in crypto, gold and silver, but you got to start. And the earlier you start, the better, because you have more time for your investments to compound. Sometimes getting in early is a good thing. And how many of you out there that had people told you about an investment and told you it was ground floor, and you had an opportunity to get in and you chose not to? And all of a sudden you found out a couple of years later, that thing exploded. And now many people got rich. And now you're kicking yourself because you didn't make a move, because you procrastinated. And procrastination is one of the biggest things that stop us from investing. So this is a real quick video just to show y'all that it's up to you. If you want to have a better future, then you need to learn to invest. I will be doing the video, a short video, just to show y'all how easy it is. Okay? I'll be going into Schwab, and I'm going to show you how you can I'm going to show you how you set it up real quick, how you start buying stocks for yourself. And then if you don't have that much amount of money, how Schwab got this thing, what they call slices. And you can take $200, right? And you can divide it between 6 or 7 companies, whatever, or $150, and you put it in there and you can start putting slices. You can buy pieces of companies that you want to own, and you can start right there. And over time, and you be consistent with it, and you be consistently investing and keep putting money in, even if it's small amounts, but invest. Because over time, the compounding and the time is going to build you wealth. But you got to start. Nothing from nothing equals nothing. So if you don't do anything, you won't get anything. All right, y'all. You see the screen right here, right? So there's some truth in investment right here. And I found this on a web page when I was just going through Google, but I want you to listen to this. This is some sound advice right here, though. It says, start early, make time your friend. And like I just told you, time, the longer you can spend it investing, the time will compound your money, right? Over time, you keep on dollar cost averaging. They say, like, for instance, when I do my gardening, right? I love, in order to make I plant a seed in the ground, right? But I have to water the seed, right? And by watering the seed, by giving it more water, the plant grows. The seed gets bigger, but I got to keep watering it. What happens if I don't water the plant? It's going to die, right? So you nurture the seed. Now, what's the whole point of me watering that plant? The whole point of me watering that plant, because I want to get the plant where it's strong enough. And then as it starts producing fruit, because once I get it to the point where it produces fruit, it's going to keep on producing fruit for the rest of the summer. All I got to do is go out there and pick it, and it keeps growing more and more and more. And that's the same thing what your investment would do. But first, you got to nurture it. You got to make sure that investment, you got to water that investment. You got to get all the weeds out. You got to make sure everything is nice and pretty, you know what I'm saying? So that plant can grow and healthy and get strong. And then it start producing fruit. The same with your investments, because what happened is those fruit that it produces is called dividends. So as it grows, the stock price grows, but guess what? Now they start producing dividends. And then those dividends start producing dividends. And then those dividends start producing dividends. And see, that's called cash flow. And then you start to be building your wealth. Your wealth starts to compound. So first thing you want to do is start early and make time your friend. Next one, save money month after month while enjoying the present with your family. That's right. And that's a big thing right there. Like I said, you want to keep watering, you want to keep investing, you want to keep putting money in, and you do that month in and month out. Sometimes you might not have the money. Sometimes you might invest less, but just keep going. Even if it's $50, $75, people don't think that those low amounts of money will amount to anything. And that's a problem. That's a false way of thinking, because it will. A lot of people have gotten rich over small amounts, consistently investing small amounts of money. Okay. So, and also one big thing is that while you're investing, do not spend your time only investing and then you don't enjoy life. Because that's what it's saying. You got to enjoy life too. And that's when you just put your money in compartments. So you have your money for your bills, your money for your investment, and your money for you want to just go out to a movie or something. You can still go out to the movie and have fun. Right? You can still go out to the club and have fun. But put some money, always pay yourself first. Put some money to investments first. Okay? And then you can go still have the lifestyle you want. And this is the part where most people fail at. It's real simple. This is the most easiest thing to do, but it's the simplest thing that most people fail at. Is the fact is they don't pay themselves at all. They pay everybody else but themselves. Okay? So the next one, work on a simple and stress-free investment process that can help you to beat inflation. And that's it. And that's the truth. And by investing in some of these big chip players, like your Home Depots, your Walmarts, some of these big player stores that you use every day, your iPhone, right? They got Advanced Auto Parts is a stock. Everything pretty much is a company that you can put money into, and you can make the choice of what you want. There's Lululemon, there's Under Armour, right? There's a whole bunch of companies out here. I can just keep naming them all. It's just so many. Kimberly-Clark, right? Constellation Brands, they sell wine. Altria, they sell cigarettes and smokes. And a lot of y'all take y'all money and y'all buy all kinds of cigarettes and smokes all the time. And y'all buy a lot of liquor and alcohol, right? But did you ever think about putting your money into some of the things that you're using? Instead of just being a consumer, why don't you buy the stock instead? You see, and it's just like small amounts of money over time. All right. Then it says the next one, buy high quality businesses that you would never sell till they remain high quality. That's right. And there's so many out there. So many General Mills, right? They've been making cereal for years. They also pay a dividend. You see what I'm saying? So there's so many. I mean, I can keep going on and on. There's Heinz ketchup, there's Dr. Pepper Keurig. There's so many good businesses out here that you can put your high quality businesses that have been here for years. You don't have to play that fad game. With something that just come out and you want to try to jump on it. I would tell you, I wouldn't do that, because sometimes those are just fads. They go up and then go down. But a lot of these long-term companies like Coca-Cola, they've been steadily paying dividends for years. Verizon, some of y'all got Verizon, right? AT&T. All these are on the stock exchange. You can invest money into these. And a lot of these companies pay dividends. All right? Then it says, next one, ignore the stock market volatility except to take advantage of it. Ignore the upcoming recessions and many other corrections that may shake out many more sophisticated investors. And that is so true. Ignore the stock. I just said that earlier in my little spiel. I said, ignore the stock market volatility, but you should take advantage of it. So most people don't understand this. And this is the biggest thing in the stock markets. The best time to invest is not when the stock market is going straight up. The best time but psychologically, that's what everybody does though. People invest in the stock market when they see it going up and everybody's talking about certain companies or the stock market, and then everybody wants to get in. But you know what? That's the wrong time. Because the early money makes the money. In other words, the real people got into the stock market when they was talking about the recession, when things were down. See, that's when the rich, that's when they have their field day. It's like going to when Kmart had the Blue Light special. Kmart used to have the Blue Light special going on, and they had everything in the store for sale. Well, that's the time that you want to buy. You don't want to buy when everything's marked up at the highest price. That's why during this time right now, Black Friday, right? During these times right now, things supposed to be marked lower, so that you can go in there and get deals. And that's why people waited for Black Friday, because they didn't want to buy things at the high price. So they went in on Black Friday when things are low. That caused the buyers to come in. Well, that's how the rich play the stock market. They go in when things are on Black Friday, when they're on sale. And then they buy then they kick back and they watch everybody else FOMO in. They go in while everybody is running. And what Warren Buffett said was called blood in the streets. So when everybody's running from the stock market, when everybody's scared, that's when the rich people go in, and that's when they're buying up everything, because they're getting it at a discount. So they buy in the recession lows, and by the time 8 or 9, 10 years or 7 years go by, as the stock market keeps rising and rising, they bought in way back in at the recession lows. So they ride it up, and but years later they can come out and they just repeat the process all over again. They sell at high. They don't sell low. They sell high. I see, with the most people who FOMO in though, the average person, what we do is we FOMO into the markets. So we go in when everything is shooting up, but what we call bag holders, because as the market goes higher and higher and higher, that's when we want to jump in. But that's at the same time when the rich folk are starting to sell out. So that's why we get a distasteful taste in our mouth, basically, when we invest, and people don't want to go back and invest, and they think it's a scam. Well, they don't understand that the market runs in cycles. And so you always want to get in on a lower price versus a higher price. If you're buying in at the high and then you get upset when the market drops, well, you were the one that FOMO in. You didn't understand. You didn't understand that you bought in at the top. And so you don't want to buy at the top. You want to buy early on. But if you're dollar cost averaging into the markets, then you don't have to worry about trying to catch the top or the bottom. You just consistently keep buying. That way you get a good average price. That's why they call it dollar cost averaging. you'll come out with an even share price. So even if the market fell, you'll still be good because you bought in during the recession lows, you bought in on the way up, you bought in at the top, you bought in throughout the whole thing, and you're a consistent investor. Many people have become rich off of that and off of that alone. All right. So the corrections in the market, they check out a lot of people, even sophisticated investors, like it says. But if you're a consistent investor and you already know that this is going to take place, it's a common effect that's over your mind. So you don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, the stock market may go up or down, but it's the fundamentals of those companies that's still strong. I think about the recession last time. They had the recession going on, but I looked out as I drove around and looked around, I saw people still buying at McDonald's. When I went to Walmart, Walmart was still packed. I went to Home Depot, people were still buying what they needed. In other words, even though the stock market or the stock prices went down, the fundamentals of these companies were still strong. They were still moving on. And that's one big fundamental people need to understand. Just because the stock price went down, just because Nike went down, did people just stop buying Nikes? No. Every time I went to the bar, I seen the store, Nike store, it was full of people. The stock price went down, but people were still buying Nikes. When I turned on my TV, when I watched the football game, when I saw basketball, I saw the sports players, the teams, they were wearing Nike jerseys. So for me, that made me feel sound inside. I already know that it's just the stock price has gone down, but as the stock price goes down, this is a buying opportunity for me because that company fundamentally is still strong. So these are some of the things that you want to think about. And the last part is this: be happy with whatever you have now and focus a lot on your health and happiness so that you may live long. And that's another thing that I had to learn too, is that you must focus on your health. Stay healthy. Invest. You want to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. All right? And there's a little diagram at the bottom of the page right here. And it says start early, spend, invest well. And look, it shows you right here. Start early, save, spend, little by little becomes a lot. And that is so true. You see the little graph as it goes up. Little by little becomes much. But you got to do it step by step. And even if you're in your 50s, even if you're 45 years old and 50, you still have time to build wealth. Now is the best time to start. And put it this way, wouldn't it be better to start now at 45 and 50? By the time you're 60, you will have something. You will have a big chunk of change that you'll have there that you wouldn't have had. But you got to start. Because the worst thing to do is to wake up at 60 and 65 and you got nothing to fall back on. All right? So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is the Truth Seeking Network. And I'm out. Peace till next time. Y'all have a wonderful day.